I've just really had it with this coworker pouting. I, 25F, work as a full-time GED teacher in a medium-security men's prison. There are 3 other teachers in addition to myself. We have this one lady in her mid-40s who works as the placement specialist, yet acts as if her job duties entail supervising us teachers. When she's not policing us around, she just sits at her desk and shops online and/or applied to other jobs. This woman, call her A, does absolutely nothing for most of the day, except police everybody around. Our boss is gone 60% of the time as he works at different facilities. So she pretty much gets away with everything because of this. One day an inmate was not on the right call-out list to be excused from his dorm, so that he could come to class. So while my inmate Tush and students were all gone to lunch, I followed typical protocol and walked down to the central gate to make sure the cuz know to release him still. The CO acknowledges and makes a note. So I did my job and all is good. I turn around and A is right there. She then starts scolding me on how I need to be in the classroom at all times so that way I'm there when my students return. So I respond with an "alright," and went back to my classroom. 2 weeks later, Ms. A, no call no shows the morning I get into work. My boss was frantically looking for her BC. The 2 of them had to travel to a mandatory meeting at a facility 30 minutes away. I asked the other teacher and she went on about how much she absolutely hates Miss A and that, surprise surprise, Miss A is the main reason my colleague is transferring to another facility. Tears of joy she and I spent a good hour just spilling on how much we dislike her. Apparently she applied for one of our positions and the educational director refused to hire her. Lol. A has also apparently gone around and tried to get each inmate worker fired. Our boss is too afraid to fire her himself. BC he thinks she'll file a discrimination lawsuit against him. She's POC, even though she's only been there 3 months and still has 7 to go before she's off probation. I found out today that our other teacher is now also leaving. I have, since last week, started the paperwork to transfer to another facility. BCI just cannot stand this woman and her false sense of authority. I'd be in the middle of class and she'd just barge in the room yelling at me about making sure to do stuff that's not a part of my job at all, right in front of my inmate Tush and students, which is just highly inappropriate. At this point I'm just hoping my boss grows the balls to fire her before I transfer out. I think it'll be another 2 weeks before that happens. I'm just tired of going into work every day with the threat of her fire breathing hanging over my head. I've just had enough. Record every instance as it happens. File a complaint every time. Even if it's just an email to your boss. It should help them get rid of her as there'll be proof. I don't get this. 3 people in positions that this person, who is on probation, isn't qualified for, are leaving because of her behavior and the boss is afraid to terminate her? There has to be more to this story. Document everything and when you have a really fat file folder hand it to the boss. Your boss being so scared to fire them during a probation period is so weird. It's only gonna get harder. Just look her in the eye and politely but firmly say, "You're not my boss. I don't answer to you. Please mind your own business," and then walk away. Why doesn't the head security guard report her? All they would have to say is she is not following the protocols of the facility. Then say because of this no one is safe because of her not following the protocols. In addition to lots of documentation, the next time she bursts into your classroom braying about something, you need to address it. Pull her aside and say, "We're holding a class right now, and you've interrupted the students' work. What you're asking about is not my job, and now is not the appropriate time. Please do not interrupt a class for unrelated business again. The next time, call her out in front of the students. You are an adult. Communicate like one and tell the coworker your grievances directly. As someone who also works in corrections, just do everything per the policy and protocol and make note of it to cover your ass until you can get a transfer. I feel for you. I've come across the most power-hungry morons in my time. That's what initial probation is for. They're not working out. Let them go.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.